In this video, we're going to look at some problems involving ratios, and they're pretty simple, but they require a little bit of practice. So, in our first question, we have flour being mixed with water, and the ratio they've given us for this first one is the ratio of 4 to 6. That means 4 cups of flour to 6 cups of water, or 4 kilograms of flour to 6 liters of water. So we're going to write the proportion as a fraction, and we're going to have one fraction for flour and one fraction for water. Now the first step to doing this is we need to determine our total parts. And that's really easy because we just add the two numbers of our ratio together. So total parts is going to be 4 plus 6, 10. Okay, that means that when we look at how much flour we're putting in, flour is going to be equal to 4 parts of this mixture of 10 parts, and our water is going to be equal to 6 parts of this 10 parts. Alright, let's look at B. We have, if 2/5 of the dough is flour, write the ratio of flour to water. So 2/5 is flour. That means the remaining 3/5 has to be water. And we know we can simplify this by multiplying both sides of the ratio by the same number. So this becomes 2 to 3. Okay, let's look at C. If we have 12 cups of flour and they're used with a ratio of 3 to 5, what amount of water is required? So, the ratio we're using for this particular mixture to make dough is 3 to 5. And we want to convert the ratio to something where I have 12 cups of flour. All I have to do is work out how I've gotten from 3 to 12 and multiply both sides by the same number. So 3 times 4 is 12. It means I have to do the exact same over here. And 5 times 4 is 20. And so therefore I need 20 cups of water. Alright, this one's another similar question, except this time we're mixing oil and vinegar to make a salad dressing. And the ratio we're using is 5 to 3. Our first question again is to write that as a fraction for oil and a fraction for vinegar. So, if we call this part A, then we need to work out the total parts. And if the total parts is going to be equal to both of these sides of the ratio added together, so 5 plus 3, which is equal to 8. So 8 total parts. Now, if we look at the oil is 5 parts, so it's 5 of this group of 8 parts in total is oil. And for vinegar, it's the remaining 3 parts of 8. If we look at B, we have 3/9 of the dressing is oil. Write the ratio of oil to vinegar. So 3/9 is oil. If 3 parts of the 9 parts are oil and all we're mixing is oil and vinegar, then the remaining 6 parts of 9 has to be vinegar. And to simplify this, I can multiply both sides by 9 and I can get 3 to 6. And if I notice that there is a way to simplify this further, I can divide both sides by 3 and I can get 1 to 2 as our final ratio. If we look at C, we have 20 mils of oil is used with an oil to vinegar ratio of 2 to 3. How much vinegar is required? So our starting ratio is 2 to 3. But we have 20 mils of oil and we don't know how much vinegar to add. To get from here to here, I've multiplied the 2 by 10. 2 times 10 is 20. In order for the ratio to stay the same, I have to do the same to both sides. So if I do 3 times 10, I get 30. So the amount of vinegar I need is 30 mils of vinegar. Okay, for our final example, we're going to be looking at is a skill involving dividing a quantity by a given ratio. So if we look at part A, we're dividing 24 kilograms into the ratio 3 to 5. Right. So for A, we're going to first determine the total parts. This is going to be 3 plus 5, which equals 8. So each part is going to be equal to 24 kilograms divided by 8, or just 24 divided by 8, which is going to be equal to 3. Okay, so for our first part of the ratio, we're going to do 3 times the number of parts, which is 3, which is equal to 9. And for the second part, we're going to do 3, which is how much each part is worth, multiplied by the other side of the ratio, which is 5, which is 15. So if we break out 24 kilograms into the ratio 3 to 5, we end up with 9 kilograms and 15 kilograms. If we look at B, we're dividing 50 liters into the ratio 4 to 1. So the number of total parts we have is equal to 4 plus 1, which is just 5. And each part is going to be equal to 50 divided by 5, which is just 10. Now, to determine the rest, all we have to do is multiply each part by each side of the ratio. So for the first part, it's going to be equal to 10 times 4, which is just 40 liters. And for the second part, it's going to be equal to 10 times 1, which is just 10 liters. Okay, that's it for this particular lesson, and I will see you in the next video.